Well, welcome to another episode of It's Time to BARBOUR Q, and today we're doing ribs. Well, I do have to say that of all the things that I like to do in the smoker, probably ribs are the things I do the best. Now, there's a few things that you need to know when you're prepping your ribs. The first thing is, before you put any type of rub on them, you need to take these, you need to flip them over, and you need to get rid of this, the membrane, okay? This is something, if you don't get rid of this, one, the rub isn't going to soak into the bottom side of the meat, and the other part of it is, it is going to be tough for days. So, very simple process of all you got to do, just get yourself a fairly sharp knife, and I like to start on the low end of it, and just after the first bone, right in here, just make a slight cut. Don't cut all the way through the meat, just a slight cut there, and you're going to see the membrane start to tear away just a little bit there. Now, they're hard to get a hold of, so I always recommend a piece of paper towel, grab a hold of it, flip it up, try and work along the edge of that cut until you find a spot there. Look at that. Well, just like that. We can get a piece of that membrane. You see that? That's what's got to come off. Just like that. Now that that's off, it's pretty easy going. These ribs aren't going to be cooked until tomorrow. They're not going to go on the smoker. You can do them in the oven, or you can do them on a little harder on a propane barbecue, but oven or smoker I'm recommending. First, you want to get your rub ready. For me, again, I like to keep it simple. Salt, pepper, brown sugar, some chili, some paprika, onion, garlic. That's it. Stir it up, mix it up so that it's well mixed. But before you apply your rub, get yourself some prepared mustard. That's it. And you're not going to overdo it, but this is just going to give a little bit of grabbing power on those ribs. And now you are ready for the rub. For me, when I'm doing the rub with ribs, I don't hold back. Now, like I said, these aren't going onto the smoker or into the oven, one or the other, until tomorrow. So I get this done the night before, take them, wrap them up, put them in the fridge, let them set, and then tomorrow they will be ready to go. So the method that we're using today in order to make these ribs is something called the 3-2-1 method. And we're going to walk through it as we go, but I'm going to do this quickly. First, 3 hours on the smoke at 225 degrees. Next, wrap those babies up for another 2 hours. 3, 2, you get it? 225 degrees wrapped up. I'm going to tell you how I do that. And then finally unwrap them for 1 hour whenever you put the sauce on at the end. So your total 6 hours is what you're going to take to smoke and to cook through these ribs. 3-2-1 method. Setting up the grill, same as last time as you seen for the steaks. You can go back to episode 1 to see how we did that. Other than this time, we are going to be putting the heat deflector on so that we're not getting direct heat to the ribs. That way it's low and slow. That's how we're cooking, low and slow. All right, once your grill is up to 225 degrees, because that's where you want to keep it about the whole day, get that over. Look at that smoke. Isn't that beautiful? And you just get your ribs. And again, we're going to be 3 hours on the smoke, unwrapped. You can check out, you can see the rub on there. Delicious. Left those overnight in the fridge. Tuck that in there. And we close it. And we're going to leave that for the next 3 hours. And remember, if you're looking, you ain't cooking. So keep that lid closed.
What are you doing?
All right, so it's been 3 hours now since we put the ribs on. How many times do you think I opened the lid to check on them? That's correct, 0 times. 0 times. Do not lift the lid while these are cooking. 3 hours in, let's check them out. And we're going to get ready to foil them up. Beautiful. All right, so very simple. Take one rack off. Get that baby closed up again. Very good. Now what I like to do is kind of bring my edges up real quick. And then here, I've got a mixture of coffee, soy sauce, and a little bit of hot sauce. And I'm just going to pour that in on the edge, not over it, just a little bit. And all that's going to do is help with the moisture. And then we give this a wrap. So the ribs have been on 3 hours on smoke, 2 hours wrapped, and now for 1 hour we want to unwrap the ribs and and put the sauce to them. So we're 5 hours into this process. Let's open them up, have a look, see how we're doing. All right, still carrying a pretty good temperature right now. Oh yes, look at this. These are looking delicious. All right, so just to give you an idea of how much these have softened up, and look at that, just falling off the bone already. I find this to be a pretty handy tool. Call it a mop, hopefully for obvious reasons for you. And we just take it and we want to sauce. All right, here we are an hour later, and it's time to take these off the grill. Beautiful. So I'm not sure if you can see all that well, but you can see that there's that bark back on top with the cracks there. That's what you're going for. So we're going to take these off the grill. I like to cover them back up. Let them sit, because again, you're going to want to let them sit for about 10 to 15 minutes in order to kind of let the juices settle back in. And you can also see I threw on some chicken breasts just for the fun of it. Don't want to waste the charcoal. Those are ready to come in. So again, let them set for 15 minutes, and then they are ready to serve. Well, that's been another absolutely successful episode of It's Time to Barbecue. Let me know if there's anything that you want to know, or if there's any cuts of meat you'd like to see smoked or barbecued or anything like that. Again, everything we did with the ribs today, you could do with the oven in the very same process. But it's been an absolute pleasure sharing this with you today. And always remember, don't be nutritious, just be delicious.